This is the Budweiser home of homers. Don't miss out on purchasing a specially marked case of Budweiser for your chance to win a stay.
John Schneider has brought Jordan Romano into the game here. Merrifield back, and it's off the wall. Rizzo on his way to second, and in there with a double. Grounded down to third, off the glove of Chapman, and everybody is safe. He walked to him, and that'll load him up. LeMahieu 1 for 6 in his career against Romano. And there it is, a base hit into left, and LeMahieu will win it for the Yankees.
Let's go to the big board presented by Bet365. Blake Murphy has joined us, and the bullpen was expected to be a strong factor. We just talked about runners in scoring position. Long way to go, but magnified by Jordan Romano's struggles yesterday coming in a tie game. Where are you? We're all talking about levels of concern. We're in April, but where are you with the bullpen?
Pretty low in terms of concern with Jordan Romano specifically. There is a lot of track record here with Jordan Romano that we can trust. And yes, yesterday was a bit of a meltdown, but not a ton of hard contact there. Even Anthony Rizzo's double wasn't particularly well hit. If you look at the entire season of work, Jordan Romano's slider is as good as it's ever been. He's locating it on the edge of the strike zone more than ever, which means that when he throws it further outside the strike zone, guess what? He's getting more swing and miss on it than ever. You see the confidence level. 21 of his last 26 pitches in his last 2 outings have been that slider. Maybe there's a little less confidence in the fastball right now. He's not locating that one quite as well. But when you have one pitch as good as that slider, I'm going to ride with it.
Yeah, Blake, I'm looking at the two guys who are trying to get the ball to Jordan Romano and Jimmy Garcia and Anthony Bass. These two were expected to be key pieces of this bullpen and to be facing leverage coming into the season. You see the results here. Bass has pitched his way out of leverage entirely. We saw Garcia in leverage yesterday, and what happens? Anthony Volpe takes him deep. Now, was that a Yankee Stadium special? A little bit, only a home run in 7 ballparks, but you're going to see the location here. This is a center cut fastball, and Jimmy Garcia has given up 3 bombs now this year on those heaters, and they have all been in a similar location. He has to improve his command of that pitch. Same goes for Anthony Bass. Hitters are hitting over 500 against Anthony Bass's fastball this year with an over 700 slugging percentage. It's a similar story to what we've seen from Garcia. Mislocated fastballs. That should be correctable. And I think that over time, these two pitchers, considering the quality of their stuff, will get back to what they've done over the history of their career. But right now, Brad, it has not been looking good.
It's been the least used bullpen in the major league, so give us a reason for optimism that they can turn it around.
Well, the home run to fly ball rate is elevated, as is the batting average on balls in play. And the other numbers that are elevated are swinging strike rate and chase rate. And those are very good indicators. That tells you that the Blue Jays have good stuff in their bullpen. I just think that, like I showed with Bass and Garcia, that good stuff has been located poorly at really inopportune times. And Blake, they paid for it with the home run ball.
They have, and I'm glad you mentioned the swinging strike rate and the chase rate being so strong for this Blue Jays bullpen, because I pulled some data on the last few years across Major League Baseball. And what are the best predictors of a bullpen's overall success? Well, chase rates at the very top, swinging strike rates next. If we want to control for leverage and pull in just the bigger spots, swinging strike rate moves to the very top. And those are areas that the Jays are doing better. The struggles of the bullpen are fundamentally this misalignment of who's pitching well and who's pitching in leverage. You can't really hang that on John Schneider because, as Arden laid out, Bass and Garcia were the guys expected to come into this season in those spots. But you look at pitchers like Zach Pop and Trevor Richards, those guys have come through not only from a results perspective, but from a process perspective in a very big way, making the case for greater leverage moving forward. John Schneider does have some options here to mix things up as his perceived top guys struggle a little bit.
Anytime I get a chance to paraphrase Rick Pitino, I feel obligated to go back. Dwayne Ward's not walking through that door. Tom Henke's not walking through that door, but there is a guy in AAA Buffalo, Nate Pearson. Will he walk through the door and out of the bullpen?
He could be. He's showing that he's a big league reliever. There's a lot of bullpens around the league where Nate Pearson is facing leverage. The Blue Jays just don't have that much flexibility in theirs right now. But at AAA Buffalo, through 8 appearances, Pearson has a 2.16 ERA. He's struck out 46% of the hitters that he's faced. But this right here is what he's doing so well. He is controlling and commanding his stuff. Only a couple wild misses in there. These are his last 2 games. Look at those fastballs on the edges. Nate Pearson has a 62% strike rate this year, a 19% swinging strike rate, and only 5 walks. This has been the question with Pearson. Aside from health, can he control and command his stuff? And he has shown so far through his early outings this year that he can.
And Arden, when he's not striking someone out, it's a lot of infield fly. It's a lot of soft ground balls. Pearson's not the only name who could potentially fortify this bullpen down the line. You also have Jay Jackson, who was granted his release and then kind of came back on this split deal that you reported, Arden. You have Chad Green, who will eventually come back off the IL. He's about 11 months removed from Tommy John surgery right now. Mitch White's still not really progressing in any meaningful way, but there are names down there. The hard part is to bring someone up, you got to send someone down, and there is that inflexibility you mentioned, Arden, in this Jays bullpen where Trevor Richards, out of options. Zach Pop has an option, but he's pitched his way into bigger situations here. The main guys who you would consider sending down right now don't have the options to bring them down.
A lot of eyes on the 28th overall pick back in 2017, Nate Pearson. But will it be figured out by the Blue Jays? That's the big board presented by Bet365. Check out the app for the latest odds. And when we return to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, where Danny Jansen gets a start after his pinch hit dramatics in the ninth a day ago, we'll turn our focus to the starting pitcher, Caleb Joseph. Goes in depth with Kevin Gosman. Stay with us on Sportsnet. Game 3, the Jays and the Yanks. Next.
You find a way every 5 days to get on that mound and give your team a chance to win. And that's a huge attribute that the Blue Jays are really lucky to have.